Hello, everyone. My name is Mariah Olson, and I am a junior in the spring 2020 cohort, and I will be going over how to do your agency analysis. So on the share screen, I have my group's agency analysis from last semester, and we'll just be starting with the first page. So with the running head, you need to make sure you say running head : and then agency analysis of, and whatever your group's name is, make sure that's all in capital letters and include the page number at the top. Then for the title, it would again be agency analysis of, and whatever your group is. We are the Foster's Home for Children group. Then for the names, make sure that your group leader's name is first, and then the next group members will be in alphabetical order. So Jamie's our group leader, and then Rosa, Mariah, Karen, those are in alphabetical order by your last name, and then Tarleton State University underneath that. Let me come down to the first page of our agency analysis. Again, in the header, it's your title in all capital letters, agency analysis of, whatever your group is, and the page number. And you'll start with the very first section, which is overview of, and whatever your group's name is. Ours is Foster's Home. And so I'm just going to go over what needs to be in this section. Basically, you need to say when the agency was opened and why. So we say who it was opened by and how many children have been in the Foster's Home for Children home. They embrace the ideas of open communication. So basically, if they have a mission statement or objective, this is going to be good information to come in here. Basically, a small overview of what they do and why it's needed and where it is located. So this information will be coming mainly from the website of the agency that you're working with, because this will be where most of this information is laid out, or any pamphlets that they have for this. Now moving on to population served. Now our group did this together, but make sure that you split this because we've got docked points for that. So with the population served, just make sure you say who is being served by this agency. So ours is Foster's Home for Children, and it says that the population served is children who have experienced trauma and violence in their lives. That is a safe place for children to stay and heal from the traumatic events. The age ranges in which the children can be, or adults if your agency works with adults, and where they are placed, where they can come from. So like ours are placed from counties such as Erath, Tarrant, Johnson, Hood, Parker, and Eastland. But if yours are different, then make sure you include that. This information, again, will either come from a website or a pamphlet, or personal communication if your community partner tells you that information. And then down here would be demographics. So make sure, if able, to do the race, gender, and age breakdown of the agency. So here we have age beginning. 11 of the children are ages 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. So with ages, make sure you go in number order. So start at the lowest age and go all the way up to the biggest age. For the race breakdown, do the highest number, do alphabetical order. So Black or African American is first, Hispanic or Latino second, White or Caucasian is next. And then for the gender breakdown, you do also female would be first, male would be second for alphabetical order. Also, if you want to include the faculty representation, that would be good, because Dr. Hall wrote on our paper that would be good. That would have been good to put in our paper. And then make sure with numbers, because this section is full of numbers, that you keep it consistent. Whether you're going to do percentages or raw numbers, just make sure they're all the same and you're not flipping back and forth between numbers. So next we go down to the services provided by the agency. So you want to go into every single service that is provided by said agency. So start with the first one that you'd like to present, and then basically give an overview of the services you will be presenting about, then talk about each one in specific, and make sure that if a person that didn't know your agency were to read this section, that they would know exactly what your agency does and the services it provides for its clients. So we talk about the SOAR House, which is for youth that have aged out of foster care. Then we talk about Achievers, which is the tutoring program. And then foster care for children, infant through 18 years of age, which is all that the agency provides for its clients. Next, we have the historical outline. So for this section, I would go all the way back to whenever your agency was opened and just basically do a timeline. And you kind of have a little bit of history in the beginning with when it was opened and why. Just kind of go back to that and go more into details with when it was opened, why it was opened, where it was opened, if they've changed locations, if they've made changes to the actual infrastructure, if they've opened new buildings, if they had donations from certain areas, and also include the people who lead this agency, so different changes in presidents, supervisors, any of that nature that's important. This is where that would need to go. This section, depending on your agency, could be rather long. So just make sure that you're in depth with that and do as much information as you can with this. And this information will either come from, like I said in the beginning, the website that your agency has, or pamphlets that they have, or again, personal communication if you need more in-depth information and you have to ask your community partner or other contacts that your community partner has given you for this paper. Then lastly, you go down to your references, make sure they're alphabetically ordered, and make sure you have them in APA. So just the basics of that is the name of the organization or author, and then the year, title of the article, and then if it's a website, just retrieve from and give the website. With a brochure, you do the same thing, name of the person writing it or the organization. If it has a year, put that here, the name of the brochure, and then where it's located. So if you include all of this, then you will be good for your agency analysis. Thank you so much.